Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is LB the Realist, and this is Surrealistic Studios, where the real is surreal, and it gets most surreal. So tell me why the DNC is suing Wikileaks, the Trump campaign, and Russia for what? Collusion, for attempted collusion, for being too truthful as far as WikiLeaks goes. I don't know. What the fuck are they suing for? Well, let's see. The Democratic National Committee filed a multi-million-dollar lawsuit Friday against the Russian government, the Trump campaign, and the WikiLeaks organization, alleging a far-reaching conspiracy to disrupt the 2016 campaign and tilt the election to Donald Trump. No, I can give you two words that did that. Hillary Clinton. The complaint filed in the Federal District Court in Manhattan alleges that top Trump campaign officials conspired with the Russian government and its military spy agency to hurt Democratic presidential nominee Hillary Clinton and help Trump by hacking the computer networks of the Democratic Party and disseminating stolen material found there. During the 2016 presidential campaign, Russia launched an all-out assault on our democracy, and it found a willing and active partner in Donald Trump's campaign, DNC Chairman Tom Perez said in a statement. No, Mr. Perez. The Democratic Party launched an all-out assault on American democracy as a whole. That's what happened. Hillary Clinton had complete control over the DNC before she was even nominated. 4 months before she announced her candidacy for president, she had control over the Democratic Party. She controlled press releases. She controlled the finances. She controlled the scheduling. She controlled staffing decisions. She controlled everything. But somehow that's not the topic of discussion. Somehow they want to deflect to the Trump campaign allegedly being influenced or being in cahoots with Russia and WikiLeaks. And then they throw WikiLeaks as if WikiLeaks and Julian Assange aren't going through enough shit as it is already, with him being without internet, barred from posting, barred from being who he is, a journalist. But they didn't want to talk about that. This is from the Washington Post, by the way. This constituted an act of unprecedented treachery, the campaign of a nominee for president of the United States in league with a hostile foreign power to bolster its own chance to win the presidency, he said. No, we're a hostile foreign power. As the U.S. as a whole is a hostile foreign power, not Russia. Russia's not my enemy. I don't have not one Russian enemy. Do you know that? I don't have not one Russian enemy. But somehow, again, we're deflecting because truly Democrats know how shitty they are. The suit asserts that the Russian hacking campaign, combined with Trump associates' contacts with Russia and the campaign's public cheerleading of the hacks, amounted to an illegal conspiracy to interfere into the election and cause serious damage to the Democratic Party. Oh, you mean the Democratic Party that's a private organization? You know, that private organization, they can go in smoke-filled back rooms and pick their candidates that way? You mean that organization? So we're supposed to heat up tensions with Russia and drag WikiLeaks and Julian Assange through the mud, all because a private organization was allegedly hacked? But since have provided no actual evidence of an act ever occurring, to my knowledge, there is no actual evidence of this. This is just what they're saying, just like Nikki Haley said that Assad chemically gassed his own people. Just like supposedly the intelligence community has evidence of that happening, but I haven't seen any evidence besides no, I haven't seen any evidence at all. All they have is a White Helmets video that was sent in that doesn't prove anything, but those people were suffering from hypoxia, not a chemical attack. Doctors said they treated people for hypoxia and there was no chemicals found. People were not treated for chemical attacks. So we'll read on a little bit here. Senate investigators and prosecutors for Special Counsel Robert S. Mueller III are still looking into whether Trump associates coordinated with any Russian efforts. Last month, Republicans on the House Intelligence Committee said they had found no evidence that President Trump and his affiliates colluded with Russian officials to sway the election or that the Kremlin sought to help Trump, a conclusion rejected by the panel's Democrats. Last month, Republicans on the House Intelligence Committee said they had found no evidence that President Trump and his affiliates colluded with Russian officials to sway the election or that the Kremlin sought to help Trump, a conclusion rejected by the panel's Democrats. In a statement, Trump campaign manager Brad Parscale said the Democrats' lawsuit was without merit and likely to be dismissed. This is a sham lawsuit about a bogus Russian collusion claim filed by a desperate, dysfunctional, and nearly insolvent Democratic Party, he said. With the Democrats' conspiracy theories against the president's campaign evaporating as quickly as the failing DNC's fundraising, they've sunk to a new low to raise money, especially among small donors who have abandoned them. Exactly. Because they're still going to go to their Democratic base and ask them for donations through ActBlue to sue Trump, Russia, and Wikileaks. Well, you won't be getting any of my money for that, I'll tell you. The lawsuit echoes a similar legal tactic that the Democratic Party used during the Watergate scandal. In 1972, the DNC sued President Richard Nixon's re-election committee seeking $1 million in damages for the break-in at the Democratic headquarters in the Watergate building. The suit was denounced at the time by Nixon's Attorney General John Mitchell, who called it a case of sheer demagoguery by the DNC. But the civil action brought by the DNC's chairman Lawrence F. O'Brien was successful, yielding a $750,000 settlement from the Nixon campaign that was reached on the day in 1974 that he left office. Nick Ackerman, a former Watergate prosecutor who specializes in computer fraud cases, said he thought the Democrats' suit had merit and, despite predictions from Trump-allied lawyers, was unlikely to go away anytime soon. There is no way it's going to be dismissed, said Ackerman, a partner in the New York office of the Dorsey and Whitney law firm, at least not on the computer fraud part of the case, which is really the heart of it. The Democrats have every right to bring this suit as they are aggrieved. My question is, what took them so long? If allowed to proceed, the lawsuit would give the Democrats a chance to seek internal documents and testimony from the Trump campaign to help them learn more about interactions with Russia during the race. 2 years after the election, and we're still talking about alleged Russia collusion. Now there's this new thing with Russia supposedly covering for Assad for the chemical attacks. It's just a mess. We can't stop with this McCarthyism bullshit. We just can't stop, won't stop. Bad boy, baby. Parscale noted that the Trump campaign, too, would be allowed to conduct discovery. He promised that the campaign would use the process to probe management decisions at the DNC, as well as the party's involvement with commissioning the Trump dossier, a research document produced by a former British spy that alleged that Trump campaign conspired with Russia. Late Friday, Trump made a similar point, tweeting that the suit provided good news and that we will now counter for information from the Democrats, including information from the party's servers about a range of topics, including Hillary Clinton's emails. Suing a foreign country may present legal challenges for the Democrats, in part because other nations have immunity from most U.S. lawsuits. The lawsuit argues that Russia is not entitled to sovereign immunity in this case because the DNC claims arise out of Russia's trespass onto the DNC's private servers in order to steal trade secrets and commit economic espionage. The suit seeks millions of dollars in compensation to offset damages it claims that the party suffered from the hacks. The DNC argued that the cyber attack undermined its ability to communicate with voters, collect donations, and operate effectively as its employees face personal harassment and, in some cases, death threats. No, Superman. No Superman, no here. No. This is bullshit. This is all bullshit, and I hope this case gets thrown out on its ass. The suit also seeks an acknowledgement from the defendants that they conspired to infiltrate the Democrats' computers, steal information, and disseminate it to influence the election. Wow. To support its case, the lawsuit offers a detailed narrative of the DNC hacks, as well as episodes in which key Trump aides are alleged to have been told Russia held damaging information about Clinton. Russia engaged in a brazen attack on U.S. soil, the party alleges, a campaign that began with the hack of its computer networks in 2015 and 2016. Trump campaign officials received repeated outreach from Russia, the suit says. Rather than report these repeated messages and communications that Russia intended to interfere in the U.S. election, the Trump campaign and its agents gleefully welcomed Russia's help, the party urges. Ultimately, Trump's associates entered into an agreement with Russian agents to promote Donald Trump's candidacy through illegal means, the suit concludes. No, the Clintons are the reason for the Trump presidency. Because the failures of the Clintons and the Democrats, that's the reason we have a Trump presidency right now in America. And that is the problem. Not enough people know that. Not enough people realize that fact, that it's their fucking fault. They propped him up with the Pied Piper strategy. They told Donald Trump to run for president. Hillary Clinton failed to get the required amount of votes. Well, she actually won the popular vote, but she failed to get the correct amount of votes in order for her to push her over that line. And they gave it to Donald Trump. She couldn't beat Donald Trump. They preferred to have Donald Trump over Hillary Clinton, and that's exactly what happened. And it had nothing to do with Wikileaks. It had nothing to do with Russia or the Trump campaign. It had everything to do with the Democrats and the Clintons and what they did and what they did not do, which was reaching out to the people they should have been reaching out to. It does not name Trump as a defendant. Instead, it targets aides who during the campaign met with people believed to be affiliated with Russia. The aides targeted include the president's son, Donald Trump Jr., his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, one-time campaign chairman, Paul Manafort, and Manafort's deputy during the campaign, Rick Gates. Manafort and Gates were charged with money laundering, fraud, and tax evasion in a case brought by special prosecutors last year. A lot of people do that. In February, Gates pleaded guilty to conspiracy and lying to the FBI and is cooperating with investigators. Manafort has pleaded not guilty. The DNC lawsuit also names as a defendant the Russian Military Intelligence Service, the GRU, which has been accused by the U.S. government of orchestrating the hacks, as well as Wikileaks, which published emails stolen from the DNC and the group's founder, Julian Assange. Representatives for a number of the defendants named in the lawsuit including the Russian embassy, Wikileaks, and Assange, did not respond to requests for comment Friday. A Manafort spokesperson declined to comment. The lawsuit was also filed against Roger Stone, a longtime Trump confidant, who claimed during the campaign that he was in contact with Assange. The Trump advisors and associates have denied assisting Russia in a hacking campaign. Stone has denied any communication with Assange or advanced knowledge of the document dumps by WikiLeaks, saying his comments about Assange were jokes or exaggerations. In an email, Stone rejected the suit as a left-wing conspiracy theory dressed up as a lawsuit. A few prominent Democrats also criticized the legal action. David Axelrod, a former advisor to President Barack Obama, tweeted late Friday that the filing was spectacularly ill-timed and could abet abet the White House strategy of portraying Mueller's criminal probe as partisan. Everyone should chill out and let Mueller do his job, Axelrod wrote. The DNC argues that the Russian government and the GRU's secret intrusion into the Democrats' computer systems violated laws that included those protecting trade secrets, prohibiting wiretapping, and preventing trespassing. The party said that the Trump's Defendants Committee committed conspiracy through their interaction with Russia agents and their public encouragement of the hacking, with the campaign acting as a racketeering enterprise promoting illegal activity. The complaint was filed on behalf of the party by the law firm of Cohen Milestein. The suit contains previously undisclosed details, including the specific date when it is believed the Russians breached the DNC computer system, July 27, 2015. According to forensic evidence cited in the filing, the analysis shows the system was breached again on April 18, 2016. The first sign that the hackers were siphoning documents and information from the DNC systems was spotted on April 22nd. The suit notes that 4 years later, on April 26th, Trump Foreign Policy Advisor George Papadopoulos was informed by Joseph Mifsud, a London-based professor, that the Russians were in possession of thousands of emails that could be damaging to Clinton. The defendants in the suit included Papadopoulos and Mifsud, as well as Aris and Emin Agalarov, the wealthy Russian father and son who hosted the Miss Universe pageant in Moscow in 2013. Trump, who owned the pageant, attended the event. The Agalarovs played a role in arranging a meeting for a Russian lawyer at Trump's Tower in New York in 2016, at which Donald Trump Jr. had expected to be given damaging information about Clinton. Scott Bauber, an attorney for the Agarovs, said the allegation about his clients were frivolous and a publicity stunt. They had absolutely nothing to do with any alleged hacking of any Democratic computer system or any interference in the U.S. election, he said. Lawyers for Papadopoulos declined to comment, citing their client's ongoing cooperation with the special counsel. It is our hope that when all the facts are known, the plaintiff will voluntarily dismiss Mr. Papadopoulos from the complaint, said the lawyers, Thomas Breen and Robert Stanley, in a written statement. The lawsuit also describes how the Soviet Union paid for Trump to travel to Moscow in the 1980s and alleges that his personal and professional ties to Russia helped foster the conspiracy. The DNC's lawyers wrote that a long-standing personal, professional, and financial ties to Russia and numerous individuals linked to the Russian government provide fertile ground for a conspiracy between the defendants to interfere in the 2016 elections. And that is the right word that I would use to describe this: conspiracy. The lawsuit also details the history of Manafort and Gates, who worked for Russia-friendly factions in Ukraine before joining the Trump campaign. Prosecutors have said Manafort and Gates were in contact in 2016 with Konstantin Kilimnik, a former linguist in the Russian army, whom the FBI has alleged had ties to Russian intelligence. Alice Kreitz contributed to this report. Again, this is from the Washington Post. I know that was kind of long. This is by Tom Hamburg, Rosalind S. Hilderman, and Ellen Nakashima from the Washington Post. Now, this whole lawsuit is a whole lot of bullshit. I just read through that whole article so you guys can just get a full grasp of what's going on. If you don't already know, that is. I know I'm kind of late on this, but this is all bullshit. We all know who really rigged the election against the people, and that was the Democratic Party. Because it wasn't the Republican Party. The Republican Party got their guy elected, even though he didn't have most of their support in the beginning. The Democratic Party has what you call superdelegates, in which they can vote however they want to. No matter what you say, they vote for who they want to vote for. They're not bound by their vote like regular delegates are. That's what Democrats have. The Democrats gave complete control over the DNC to Hillary Clinton 4 months before she announced her candidacy for president. That's what the Democrats did. The Democrats are the wolves in sheep's clothing, smiling in your face, acting like they really care about the people and acting like they really care about progressive policies, all the while voting for regressive policies and policies that don't have the support of the majority of the American people. That is what the Democrats do. But yet they come out here and prop up this bullshit lawsuit against Wikileaks, of an organization that's very democratic, an organization that has done nothing but spread truth and awareness and enlightenment about what's really going on in our country, and is propping up a conspiracy theory that Trump and the Russians and Wikileaks are somehow, or have somehow colluded to help Trump win back in 2016. Unfucking believable. Unfucking believable. So, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Like this video if you like, share it if you feel as though it's shareable. I do. And subscribe to me if you haven't before so we can keep in touch. Keep networking. Keep fighting. Keep spreading that enlightenment. Remember to love from your heart, peace in your soul, chicken grease in your tummy. And until the next one, you guys. Until the next bullshit DNC event. Oh, God.